What is up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome into your Network 216 Daily Short for Friday, July 29th, which will aim to be the third day since the Cleveland Browns have started minicamp, and just one day, training camp, not minicamp, and just one day from me making my triumphant return to Cleveland on Saturday. I'm very excited to be up there for Browns camp. Today, we're just going to hit you with a quick video real quick talking about undrafted rookie free agent Glen Logan, the defensive tackle out of LSU. Glen Logan may be one of the more intriguing players, not just from an UDFA side, but really from the roster side in general, because he's really the only defensive tackle on this roster that is his calling card is being a big time run stuffer, right? Like being one of the bigger 300 plus pound guys that is just hard to move, immovable type object that just, eats gaps and blocks and just, he's just the guy that that is his purpose, is to destroy the run. There's really not a lot of guys like that on this roster. I think Tommy Togiai is kind of an athletic run, early down run stopping type player. He can be, but he's also got some pretty good, athleticism for pass rush and things like that. And then the other guys, Perrion Winfrey, really struggled at times against the run. At Oklahoma, he was definitely a better rusher than anything else. I do think he was a little bit out of position, but definitely Jordan Elliott and Taven Bryan are both guys that just really stopping the run isn't their calling card, so to speak. It is also. So Glen Logan, he brings the body type. Yeah, that was what he did at LSU. He's 24 years old, so he's a little bit on the older side. He goes undrafted. He has some injury concerns. There are some injury concerns with Glen Logan. That is why he, ends up going undrafted. But he's a really interesting player because he starts at LSU. They start under a 3-4 regime when he first gets there, and he's playing an end. He's not playing a nose tackle. He's playing defensive end. He was like 270, 280, somewhere in that range. Kind of a bigger defensive end that could kind of kick inside a little bit and on some of those downs. But he ends up going about 305, I believe, is what he weighs in the offseason, getting ready for the NFL draft and whatnot. So he's the only body type where you're looking like plus above 300 and he's still a leaner guy. He's not, Andrew Billings. And of course that was a nightmare, and I guess we probably should have seen it coming to an extent, but we didn't. And, he's not that guy. He's not, the biggest tackle you're ever going to see or anything like that. But that is his calling card. He is a run stuffer. He does have some athleticism and some burst that I think is really interesting. For a guy of his size, he does do some things that you kind of like to see from an athletic standpoint, but he's got a real chance to make this roster just because there's not a ton of competition for run stuffing defensive tackles on this team. And there's not a ton of competition at defensive tackle in general, in my opinion. It's just not a lot there. There's a lot of hope for Togiai and Winfrey. I mean, Taven Bryan, I think they really think that Taven Bryan can do some things because I think they might have thought, well, he'll get better coaching here than he would in Jacksonville, which is probably fairly accurate. But, there's just not a lot there in these other guys. And Winfrey, I just don't think is ready. I think he will be a really good player. I think he'll be especially a situational rusher as a rookie. I think he's probably, in my opinion, got the most upside of anybody in that room, although I still hold out hope for Tommy Togiai. There were some games at Ohio State, he never played 300 snaps, and he would have in his final year had COVID not shortened the year in 2020. There were some times for him at Ohio State that he flashed as the best player on the field, but Glen Logan is the only guy that he's really going to hang his hat on going against the run. There is no one else he's really got to beat out. Really, he needs to just prove, hey, my calling card, I hang my hat on my ability to stop the run, and I can do that at the next level. He's got some, injuries and some things that, maybe bother you. He needs to stay healthy. Should he stay healthy through the preseason, he's got a really good shot. I only put 4 on my 53 when I wrote it up for Dog Pound Daily, and I did it on the podcast this week. And I'm not sure where they go past 4. Maybe Sheldon Day hangs around, but Glen Logan, especially to make the practice squad as a guy that gets called up and gets some reps should he get ready, I really think he's got a really unique opportunity, because just not a lot of people on this roster that can, if anybody, can do what he can do and stuffing the run. He just really needs to prove that he can at the next level and do it while staying healthy. So that is what I got for you guys today. That is your quick hitter, your Network 216 Daily Short, talking about UDFA, Mr. Glen Logan. I will see you guys next time. I hope you like this. If you like this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Check us out on Twitch. We got all kinds of great Cleveland Browns content, as well as some Guardians and some maybe some Blue Jackets, maybe some Ohio State Buckeyes, maybe some Cavs coming up soon. So we really appreciate all the support, guys. I'll see you guys next time. But as always, go Browns.